Mm-hmm. Today is a very special day in sports, guys. Super special. But before we get into all the good stuff, we have to acknowledge something. So if you guys will, 10 seconds. Alvin Kamara deserves all the boos. So let's boo Alvin Kamara for being a stupid idiot jackass and getting arrested and ruining fantasy seasons for years to come. Ready? Boo! Boo! Kamara, you bum. And your dreadlocks are stupid. Yeah. And your stupid nose ring. All right, guys. Let's talk about sports.
Sports.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Stuff About Sports. I am the Facebook felon Germ. That is the prettier Corey Burt. We also have Mike, aka Black Excellence, and with us today, special guest. We have JT from JT and the Don. We have Justin from #ThisJustIn. Guys, what's up?
Well, everybody's frozen right now because you introduced the way. You got to explain that. Obviously, that is not something I call myself, but Germ calls me that.
Nah, Mike is always at the front at the Martin Luther King rally.
I am very proud of that. Yeah. I am very proud of that.
Mike was out there at Minneapolis throwing the Molotov cocktails through the Minneapolis Police Department windows.
No, for people just tuning in and our co-host here, I do believe in two privileges. One, unfortunately, is somebody of color, whether they're white or black. The white person tends in America to have some type of privilege. And the other privilege is males, right? We're all males here. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, whether it be at our jobs or whatever, we tend to have a privilege. And my job is to try to diminish that as much as I can and get us back to a medium. So that's all I ever preach. It's all I ever try to do. And that's it. So thanks, Germ, for introducing me as that and making it hella awkward.
When I first met Mike, he said, "Yo, bro, I love watermelon and chicken too, and kill Whitey." All right, so now, before we get started, guys, I just want to give you guys a moment to introduce yourselves to our audience, who are already pretty much familiar with you because we've been on y'all shows, and then JT, you've been on our show before. Justin, I believe this is your debut. So I'll let you go first, man. Go ahead and tell the people who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Well, I'm actually from Barbados. Don't mind all the Green Bay stuff. Recently moved to Wisconsin. I don't know who the hell leaves the Caribbean to go to Wisconsin, but just please put in hashtag before the This Just In, or you'll be taken to Matt Skellman's poor ESPN show. We're on every Monday on YouTube, 6 p.m. Central. That's all you need to know.
Nice. JT.
Nice. Well, you already introduced me. I'm the lesser half of JT and the Don. So we are all sports podcast. We're on every week. Also, we are media on social media. So you can find us anywhere that you listen to your podcast. Just go search JT and the Don All Sports Podcast, or follow us on IG or any social media at JT and the Don.
Awesome. Hey, Burt, man.
Hey, man.
Guy, Matt Stafford.
Thank God.
I know, man. We're going to talk about it here in a little bit. But before we get there, let's start off. Super Bowl, 4 days away, gentlemen. I'm very excited. This is probably one of the most exciting Super Bowls I think I've ever been waiting for. I don't know if it's because it's just fresh teams, fresh faces. The Joe Burrow is like the cool factor. I feel like this is the first quarterback in the Super Bowl that's been like cool. Like, I don't know, like Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes can never be cool. Like somebody sent me a tweet that said that Patrick Mahomes' wife or fiance, whatever she is, looks like Owen Wilson. And now I can't get that out of my head. His brother.
Who would ever send you that?
I don't know. His brother out there dancing on Sean Taylor's. Mike, plug your ears. Jackson Mahomes looking like he has up and down syndrome. Dancing on Sean Taylor's.
Oh, no.
dancing on Sean. No, screw him. He's dancing on Sean Taylor's memorial for TikTok. Clout chasing. I hope all the bad things happen to Jackson Mahomes in life and nobody else. So, Bert, I'll let you get started.
Great. Well, after that, how can I not? Right? Yeah.
You go. Okay, you go now. You go now. Who do you give the edge to? Who is going to determine this game? Is it going to be Joe Burrow or is it going to be the Rams defense?
It's gonna be Joe Burrow. I stand behind Joe Burrow. First off, I mean the kid is doing wondrous things in his second year, even though his first year was half, and coming back from an injury. So it's going to be him. Look, the Rams defense is nothing to scoff at. I mean, they certainly have it, but this kid is going to tear that field up. He's Joe Cool, man. Like, I mean, you've seen him. You've seen his drip. He just can't be stopped in the pregame, can't be stopped in the postgame, and he's certainly not going to be stopped in the actual game. I think Aaron Donald's actually a little bit nervous. I'll go on record and saying I think he's scared of the right. He doesn't know what's going to happen, you know?
Mike?
I think that whatever Bert just said makes zero sense. And no, like, yeah, we're going Bengals, baby. Cincinnati. We're doing this.
That's he's saying.
That's exactly what I just said.
Burrow. That's exactly
I didn't pay
what he said.
attention. I'm trying to share the show, guys.
Oh, my bad.
I just
So,
assumed after all of our talk about him like loving Matt Stafford that he went Rams.
That's
No.
funny.
No, now I'm going Rams, man. I'm going with the new Eli of the town, and I'm going LA Rams. Sorry.
That's hilarious.
That's
Is
what
hilarious.
happens when you catch me with my pants down.
My bad, Mike. My bad.
Well, thank God for this desk.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
God for Corey for
Yes.
not being here today because, you know, and thanks to this guy.
Jesus.
Yes.
That's it.
Thanks,
That's all I
thank you,
got.
Jesus.
I'm
JT,
gonna go
what you
back
got
to
for
my
me? Thank you.
Man, I don't like how you guys put me in this order, man. It's so tough to follow you three, man. I don't have the cool sound effects and shit like that. I'm sorry, I can't curse on here. My bad.
No,
Yes, you can.
you
No,
can.
I can't.
Did you hear me just make fun of up and down syndrome?
But
can
that's you, though.
stop.
So you don't
We already
have to
know
follow the
that.
rules like
That
everybody
never
else.
happened.
But no, I mean, everything Emmy wants to say it's the Rams defense, but I just saw the Tennessee Titans sack Joe Burrow like 40 times and they still lost. So I want to say Joe Burrow because he's the cool thing right now, but I'm sorry, man. Like if Aaron Donald could hit him as many times as the Titans did, I don't know if he's getting up. So that coupled with Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, like he's getting hit by a completely different animal in this game. So I got to go with the Rams D.
So a young AFC quarterback that we are all heralding as the next best thing behind a shaky offensive line against a dominant defensive front. Where have we seen this before? Yes, just the last Super Bowl. And what happened in the last Super Bowl? Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the defensive front won the game. Like JD said, like if you're getting hit by Aaron Donald 9 times, you're not getting back up. I don't see a situation where Joe Burrow can overcome that bad offensive line against dominant Rams front. Give me the Rams defense.
Yeah, this one was hard. That's why I wanted it to go first. JT, you're right. Like we just watched the Titans, who have a really good defensive line, sack Joe Burrow 9 times, and Joe Burrow won. The one point that a lot of people had in that Kansas City game was that the Kansas City Melvin Ingram and them boys were going to get to Joe Burrow and disrupt everything he was doing. And Joe Burrow had they were what, down 18-3 or down 18 points or whatever the score was. They have an 18-point deficit and they come back and win against that defensive line that everybody thought was going to be the demise of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has defied the odds so much. I did predict that the Rams would win this game because I think they do have too much on both sides of the ball. But I think the problem is going to be the opposite for the Bengals. I think the Bengals defense is going to not be able to hold up to the Rams offense. So in the terms of this question, I totally trust Joe Burrow versus the Rams D because we've seen him do it not once, but twice against comparable defensive lines. And I just can't, I go by what I see. Aaron Donald is going to get his. That's the guy. You can't stop him. So I expect they're just going to try to target the opposite side. Hopefully Jalen Ramsey locks down, for their sake, Jalen Ramsey locks down Jamar Chase, but you got T. Higgins, you got Tyler Boyd, Uzma. I don't know. They shot some type of horse tranquilizers in his leg. He's out there. He ripped his brace off like he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was running around the field. Like, I thought he tore his ACL. I didn't know what happened. And apparently he's going to play. So, yeah, that's insane. But Joe Burrow, just for the story, I hope he dismantles this Rams defense and everything we thought about them. Like, just to grow the legend of Joe Burrow, I want to see him smoke the cigar at the end of the game. And the Bengals winning the Super Bowl would just be like, we might as well no longer do sports shows, because you can't explain that. You can't explain the Cincinnati Bengals in 2 years of drafting a quarterback winning the Super Bowl. Like, you can't make it up. All right. We're going to talk about the other quarterback here with a loss, gentlemen. Bert, is Matt Stafford a Hall of Famer?
With a loss, I still think you can make an argument that Matt Stafford is a Hall of Famer. And a lot of people, including you, will sit here and say, no, that can't be, because he didn't win in Detroit. Here's what I'll say to that. You don't spend 12 years in a city without making an impact. And arguably, I can sit here and say the reason Calvin Johnson is a Hall of Famer is because of Matt Stafford.
You shut your mouth.
Hold on.
Say it again. Say it again.
Just a second. Because of Calvin Johnson,
say it
or
again.
because of Matt Stafford, Calvin Johnson is a Hall of Famer. He spent 12 years in Detroit, which we know obviously isn't the best situation in the world. He wasn't put in a position where the team built around him was in a winning spot. One player alone can't make that big of an impact. And yes, we may have seen something like that in other franchises, but when you really dive in and look at the other support players, there was other help there. Detroit, he never had it. Finally leaves Detroit in year one. Now, granted, the Rams are built on success this year or possibly next year, and then that's it for them. They leased their future on everything for these next 2 years. His numbers personally beyond that are Hall of Fame worthy. He's within the top 12 for passing touchdowns, the top 12 for passing yards alone as a quarterback in career all time. Right behind John Elway for passing yards, and right above John Elway for passing touchdowns. On top of that, if you look at what he did in Detroit as a franchise alone, he led the Lions in franchise in all-time completions, passing yards, passing touchdowns, and passer rating. Before the age of 30, he was the third most in passing yards among any NFL player, aside from Dan Marino and Peyton Manning, two other Hall of Famers. He became the fastest quarterback for both regular season and postseason to reach 50,000 yards, and he's on the cusp of being 50,000 yards for regular season passing alone. If you got to look at his individual numbers and know that there are individuals that are in the hall that are right behind him to be able to make the argument that he could get in. Now, with a win, you better rest assured he's going to get in there because he brought a team to a championship. But without the win on Sunday, I still think you can make that argument. There are lesser quarterbacks that are in. Some people can argue that they were different times of football. Some people can sit here and say, well, he never made an impact, like in his quarterback class. And I guess you can argue that too. But we all know when it comes down to going in the Hall of Fame, they're going to look at individual numbers and see. And he's up there.
Bert, I wish I didn't pay attention to this one. Like, honestly,
Why? Because you're forced to agree with me now? I mean, what can you argue against?
Johnson, you look at your garage when you wake up tomorrow, you go to work, before you get in your car, look at your garage, because that was Megatron's arm span of a football being his catchability might be actually a double 2-car garage. Like, so my argument is, Stafford's not even an NFL quarterback right now. Have Calvin Johnson as his
wide shit, Mike.
Like, stop, man. What are we talking about? Like, he had the best guy to ever do it. Like, let's be real. His name's Megatron. Like, there's no other explanation needed. Like, there's in all seriousness. Like, and without him, he was nothing. And now he's got Odell Beckham. He's got Cooper Kupp. He's got an insane arsenal around him, and all of a sudden, like, he should be in the Hall of Fame. No, the people around him should be in the Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Shame, and that's it. And that's exactly why I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals this week.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It just makes no sense. Oh yeah, hey, listen, they're really good at catching the
It
ball,
makes
so they're
perfect
even going to
Go
catch the
throw a
shitty.
football at your garage door and
Yeah,
let me know if your
be
garage door
kidding me.
catches it.
Okay, because of Calvin Johnson's freakishly large arms and wingspan is the only reason he got into the Hall of Fame. Not in the fact that
Exactly. Thank
for
you.
the
Thank you.
90% of his career, he had Matt Stafford throwing to him. Not to mention, if he was on just such a shitty Detroit team, like how are they even getting the opportunity to make those plays? Was it because they were behind all the time that he just had to keep throwing the ball, and that's how he got his passing
Trent
yards up? Well, guess
Dilfer
what?
has a Super Bowl, Bert. So somebody has to throw the
So
ball.
does Joe
It just happened to
Flacco.
be.
So, but you know who doesn't?
Exactly. Thank you. You're strengthening our argument here.
But what I'm getting at is,
Doesn't
oh, you're right.
Dan
They have a
Marino.
Super Bowl and they're not in a Hall of Fame, but they don't have his numbers. It doesn't matter. Someone could, but
got you.
Joe Burrow can play this season, win a Super Bowl, and never play a down of football again, and he's not Hall of Fame worthy.
Matthew
Because the
Stafford
sample
needs
size
to
isn't
win
there.
tomorrow. Oh, Sunday. And then, yeah, you could argue that he's going to be a Hall of Famer because
I
he's
can
not
argue
Dan
that.
Marino, so he can't go in without winning the big one.
Dan Marino win without winning a big one.
No, that's what
But
I'm saying. He's not Dan Marino, so he can't go in without winning.
JT, you are the resident Dolphins fan.
Hold on. He's not Dan Marino, but he surpassed Dan Marino in passing touchdowns and passing yards. I believe. Let me
Different
check
game.
passing touchdowns.
Different
I
era.
don't want to hear that. Okay, so we blow him for touchdown, but like I don't want to hear it was a different game. Like he still has the numbers.
I got you.
He also looks the same with or without his helmet on. So
Yes,
just
he does.
saying.
First of all, do you guys have a list of these sound effects that we can choose from? Because I feel like I heard
Which
gunshot.
one you want?
I want to know what I can choose from.
You can
just
choose
never
from
know.
the gunshot. You can do drum. You can do Law and Order, air horn. I got what you need.
Oh, y'all got the Law and Order bars? Okay, I know that. I'll save that for
Mhm.
later. Okay, so here's the thing. I feel like, Bert, I agree with you 100%. So I'm glad you guys brought up Dan Marino. First of all, Dan Marino had way more talent around him on offense than Stafford had at any point in Detroit. Like, let's not forget that. Also, too, I feel like with a loss or a win, I don't think it really matters as much as I just don't think a lot of people have got to see Stafford play in Detroit like throughout his career. Like we watch him because we're like diehard football fans, but like the average fan hasn't been able to see him really play like on a national level. I just think he needs a couple more years like in the national spotlight with the stats that he already has, seeing him play at a high level. I think at that point, it won't matter if he wins or loses a Super Bowl because he'll be competitive. People will see him, and his stats, like Bert already put out there, will get better. So win or lose, I think he's already going to be in there if he continues to play at a high level for the next 3-4 years.
No, JD.
You just a hater, though. Look at your look at the helmet behind you. Don't be a hater.
Hold on. I like.
Don't be a hater.
I like everyone else. I've seen Matt Stafford twice a year for 12 years running. I know how good Matt Stafford is, and he's very, very good. The problem is, and Bert brought up Calvin Johnson. Guess what Calvin Johnson has that Matt Stafford doesn't in that time in Detroit? Multiple Pro Bowl appearances. He has about 6. Stafford has 1 as an alternate. I agree the numbers are great. 12th all-time in yards, 12th all-time in passing. But a part of that is just the changing of the era. And as we progress, we're going to see more passing yards. We're going to see more touchdowns. And especially with receivers, I don't even know how we're going to separate these receivers when it comes to Hall of Fame induction. But every person or every quarterback that is in the Hall of Fame above Stafford right now or has Stafford's stats, all of them have accomplishments. Stafford has none. And I mean, just 1 Pro Bowl appearance, that's not going to cut it. And don't get me wrong, I'm a guy who believes in culture over everything. And you cannot get past the culture of a very bad organization. And believe you me, Detroit is the example, the shining light of a bad organization. The issue is look at the 2 Hall of Famers who have recently been inducted, or not recently, but made it out of the organization. Look at Barry Sanders. There's no ifs, ands, and buts that this guy is a Hall of Famer. Calvin Johnson. No ifs, ands, and buts that these guys are Hall of Famers, because when you look down their career achievements, when you look at their accolades, it's a list of them. If you go on Wikipedia, Matthew Stafford right now, the only NFL accolade he has is 1 Pro Bowl appearance in 2014. Even if he wins a Super Bowl, tell me which other Hall of Fame quarterback does Stafford stack up to in terms of accolades? Forget numbers, because Bart Starr doesn't have those numbers, and you're not going to compare Bart Starr and Matthew Stafford. Tell me which Hall of Fame quarterback has just one Pro Bowl appearance, and you can't.
So all of you made good points, and I do understand what Bert's saying, and it's not like, but there's one thing that nobody's mentioned: the eye test. Has anybody watched Matt Stafford and been like, yeah, that's a Hall of Famer? No, he's just a really good quarterback. He's just, again, I made this analogy on the show. Number one draft, and that's the problem. It's because he's a number one draft pick. Your bar is set higher. When you are a number one draft pick and you were supposed to be the franchise quarterback, you were supposed to walk on water. And Matt Stafford's just a really good swimmer. He's Michael Phelps. That's how he is. Joe Burrow walks on water. And he's the number one overall pick. You just get judged differently. Part of Tom Brady's legacy is the same thing that gets brought up when we talk about him. He was a 6th round draft pick. Russell Wilson, same thing. He wasn't a 1st round pick. All these guys, that are amazing and end up being Hall of Famers. Part of the excitement and the hype about it is that they weren't number one overall picks. And you know why they keep mentioning that? Because you judge differently when you're a number one overall pick. Yes, his stats look good, but he played in Detroit. Again, his lack of postseason success, and especially with a loss, with everything that the Rams gave up to get him, to only make it as far as Jared Goff did, does not, to me, put you in the Hall of Fame. You have to win it. So with a loss, no. Now, Matt Stafford is like the kid in the neighborhood who's like mom's on drugs and his dad beats him, so you feel sorry, so you bring extra food at lunchtime for him. That's who Matt Stafford is, okay? He's no Joe Burrow. So no, he has to win it. To me, the only other argument that I will agree with Bird on is that it's just other quarterbacks that they just allow in the Hall of Fame. So if you go by that standard, yeah, he probably will make it. That doesn't mean he deserves it. All right. Guys, Joe Burrow.
So disrespectful.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Is Joe Burrow? Uh-oh. Ding dong.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Marcus, what's up? Welcome. Everybody. This is Dwayne. Actually, not Marcus. It's Dwayne, as Justin let me know. I've been calling him Marcus this whole time, and he's never corrected me.
No, because that's what I go by. Justin's just hard-headed. That's all.
Oh, I got
Biggest scam in all the sports.
Wow.
All right. Well, we have Mr. Dwayne Marcus here from GOAT Talk with Marcus. Thank you for joining us. You'll go on the order in the screen. You'll go after Justin. We just started this topic. Is Joe Burrow already, right now, today, February 9th, in the year of our Lord 2022, is Joe Burrow the greatest Bengals quarterback of all time, Bert?
no. No, it's all about sample size, right? I mean, look, he can literally win. He can hold up the Lombardi Trophy on Sunday, and if that's it, if hypothetically, if he gets traded or if he just stops playing football altogether, he will still not be the best Bengals quarterback of all time. He hasn't had enough samples. It's his 2nd year in the league. Talk to me 5-10 years down the line, that's fine, but I will say he's off to a great fucking start. But no, is he the best of all time? Absolutely not.
Mike?
Yes, and here's why. When I was 8 years old, I watched him Christmas break be left home alone by himself. Be 2 robbers. One pretended he was a cop at one point. Beat them to a pulp. Used every technique in the book. I mean, his awareness of what's going on can't be compared to anybody. And now, as an NFL football player, yeah, of course, I think he's doing a great job, and he's doing an amazing job. His swagger, you saw him in NCAA, what he did. Cigar, I don't know if he was allowed to drink or smoke at that time, but he did it. You want to know why? because he had a near life death experience. Near death
In New York City too, in the hotel, and made it work.
New York City is a whole nother ball game. Like, forget that. That was what legends are made of, and that's why he is better than Boomer Esiason. Like, who are we comparing him to? Like, seriously, like, let's be real. The Bengals
talk that shit, Mike. Yep.
Quarterbacks. Yeah, Boomer would be great if he actually won the Super Bowl. You know who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Joe Burrow.
Joe
McCulkin. JT, give it to us.
You guys are so disrespectful, man. Like, he's been here for 15 minutes. Like, relax. Like, first of all, you trying guys like Boomer, you trying guys like Ken Anderson, like, who actually went to a Super Bowl, has led the league in passing, completion percentage, has all this accolade. You guys are trying Andy Dalton. Like, no matter how you feel about him, like, they've won under him in Cincinnati. So, like, right now, no, he can't be the best quarterback ever. He's really played one full season. Like, this is so disrespectful. Like, this is more disrespectful than you trying Matthew Stafford and saying he's trash. Like, I can't believe you put this question in here. Like, I don't think there's a sound effect on the board right now that's as offensive that I can play to show you how upset I am at this question. As close as I can get.
Oh, yes.
No. Your love affair with Joe Burrow has gone too far at this point.
If he wins, do you have that same feeling?
Hell no.
Oh, you're bugging. Go ahead, Justin.
What JD said, it's like every year, because the Cincinnati Bengals are so bad. So the moment they get a good quarterback, is he the greatest Bengals quarterback of all time? They did this with Carson Palmer. They did this with Andy Dalton. Forgetting that Boomer Esiason played 7 or 8 years in Cincinnati, a 7-time Pro Bowler who has an MVP award we're talking about. And the only reason that Boomer Esiason does not have a Super Bowl is because on the other side of the field was Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and Bill Walsh. Each of those three men, you can make an argument, are the best at their jobs. Hell no. Like, let's not be disrespectful to Boomer Esiason. Like, this is an all-time great with an MVP award. Joe Burrow is not an MVP. Like, let's cut it out.
Marcus.
I'm a baby. I'm not going to sit here and give you a historical rundown the way that Justin just did of Boomer Esiason, because all my memories of Boomer Esiason, if it's the same guy, is of him on CBS. I'm not going to.
He's there for a reason.
I'm not going to sit here and call this a blasphemous question like JT did. Joe Burrow. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Joseph Lee Burrow is by far, at this point, he's not the greatest Bengals quarterback of all time. But if at the end of Sunday night, he's got his hands around the Lombardi Trophy, I'll call him the greatest Bengals quarterback of all time. Because he would have done for the Bengals the one thing that nobody's done for the Bengals. That's bring him a Super Bowl. I don't care how great Boomer Esiason was back in the, what was it, Justin, in the 60s when you had to sit for your oil tastings?
1988. Let's not be disrespectful. 1988.
It's not disrespectful.
I know. That's way before Marcus's time. All those years mean nothing to me, quite frankly. Joe Burrow's great. Joe Burrow is a legend. Joe Burrow is, you know why Joe Burrow's not an MVP? Because he hasn't been in the league long enough to be an MVP. That's not his fault. All right, so let's not hold that against Joseph,
Patrick Mahomes
that he's not an MVP.
Has an MVP award in his second season and first full season starting. So
okay, Patrick Mahomes also played with Andy Reid and
the most loaded
Travis
Kelce.
Like he fell into one of the greatest offensive teams that were available. All they needed was a quarterback. Let's not compare the Kansas City Chiefs.
He also spent his childhood with the New York Mets, so clearly we taught him how to play.
Yeah, but like we can't sit here and start giving people passes because they have good receiving cores. They still have to go out there and make the plays and throw the ball and be accurate. We can't keep doing this.
And let's not pretend like
no, you're right. I just have the ultimate love affair with Joe Burrow, and I'm not going to take it with Joe Burrow.
Washed up trash, like Jesus.
Yes. Right. Thank you, Justin. Lau.
But when you called him Joseph Lee Burrow, I thought for sure he might have killed the president. Heads up. Like it sounds, we should not call him that. Just as a historian, Do not call him Joseph Lee Burrow, please.
So a lot of you guys were making my argument for me without actually making it. Joe Burrow is clearly the greatest Bengal quarterback of all time.
Cut it out.
And you want to know why? Single season, he's only played 2 years. All these quarterbacks, who has the single season Bengals passing record?
Joe Burrow.
The most successful the most successful Bengals quarterback. You said his name, Boomer Esiason. 3-2 in the playoffs. Has he ever made it to a Super Bowl?
Yes.
Once.
Yes.
And did he win it?
He made it to Super Bowl
Once.
and lost to Joe Montana
In the last play of the game. And Joe Montana says it's the best game he's ever played in his goddamn life. You know whose best game it wasn't?
Boomer
Esiason.
So if we're tallying them off, Boomer Esiason's 3-2 in the playoffs. Joe Burrow is 3-0. He has a better playoff record. Now,
today.
If you're now, they both played in the Super Bowl. That's a wash. Joe Burrow already has passed for more yards in less time, which has to count for something.
Different era.
I was gonna say different game. Come on, let's completely different.
All right, so Tom. All right, cool. So all right, let's do it. Fine, let's do it this way.
Your argument will survive because Joe Burrow.
It will survive. If you guys want to do it this way, put prime Boomer Esiason on this Bengals team. Is he better than Joe Burrow?
Yes.
You guys are bugging.
He's dead.
Yes.
Bugging.
Yes.
He is absolutely.
Put Joe Burrow back in that time where he survived this line.
I'm going to put it into great context for you.
Mm-hmm.
Boomer Esiason won MVP playing against John Elway, Dan Marino, and Joe Montana. All three of these are top 10 all-time quarterbacks, and he won an MVP in that year. Boomer Esiason easily, with this team, is in the Super Bowl.
Boomer Esiason is only getting credit because he actually played in the Super Bowl. If you take that away from him, Jeff Blake was better than Boomer Esiason.
Overrated.
Well, also shout outs to Boomer. He got all these NFL players paid because he was the union rep. And everybody who's got
listen, Boomer Esiason, union rep MVP.
Yes,
great.
exactly.
Boomer Esiason.
And he's
I trashed him, so I have to give him his flowers.
7-time Pro Bowler in an era with
that
Dan
means he
Marino.
lost a lot. Like, let's be honest. Like, you watch the Pro Bowl, that's who lost this year and isn't in the Super Bowl, right? Like, I don't know. I get it.
Half of them don't
Pro
even
Bowl
want to play
also.
it.
Can we talk about Pro Bowl sucks, guys? It was you may as well put flags on their hips. Like, it would have been better. Like, just
And
play
Matt
flag
Stafford only
football.
has one. Well,
What's that?
nothing. I didn't say anything.
Oh no, I hate Matt Stafford too. I told you that. Let's go Bengals.
Hall of very good. Hey, so real quick, speaking of the Pro Bowl, like the 7-on-7 flag football should be the thing. If they don't do, if what they really should do, if they want to make it matter, is if they're going to keep this odd number of games, the winning conference should get that extra home game at the end of the season. That's how you do shit like that to make people want to play in that. If you want to add something, but I'd prefer a 7-on-7 flag football on a smaller field. I think that'd be more more enjoyable.
Put them in an arena or something.
They don't want to hit each other. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. So you got to take the hitting out of it. So flag football is probably the way to go there. Okay,
Just cut it out. Just no longer have a Pro Bowl.
Agreed. Just like make it.
No,
like
but you should.
but don't have to do it.
But again, Pro Bowl appearances are part of the criteria. You know, the Hall of Fame criteria. That's how you separate these guys later on.
Name Pro Bowlers and just stop playing the game.
Agreed.
Got you. What about the skill? So do you enjoy the skills though?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
love
do.
that.
So they should continue doing skills. So what they need to do is take out the game and come up with, again, 7-on-7 flag, different. I like the creative catch thing that they did this year. They need to come up with more events that show off the players' athleticism.
Agreed.
And, I want the offensive lineman 40-yard dash. Like, give me something. You know what I mean? Like, give me something that'd be fun to watch. I think that would be a cool thing. All right.
And that goes for baseball too. Like, home run derby's awesome. All-star game sucks.
Yeah.
What he said.
Man.
Yeah, the pitchers don't pitch. We just seen that this last All-Star game. Like, all the great pitchers didn't want to pitch because they had to save their arms for the playoff push. All right, guys, we saw Matt Stafford do it. I know I've been ragging on Matt Stafford. I'll shoot him some bail. I'll give him a little flowers right now. He made it to the Super Bowl. It's great. They had a really hot start to the year. Then they kind of cooled off in the middle, but they're here now. They're one game closer. Matt Stafford needs this win more than anybody. But that got me thinking, what other team needs the Matt Stafford stimulus package? Who is a Matt Stafford away from potentially playing in the Super Bowl next season? So give me the team and then give me the quarterback. Bert.
This is easy. It's the Cardinals, and it's our boy Aaron Rodgers. I'm a believer in that. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, they've got 2 sick receivers. They've got a decent backfield. Defense, I mean, certainly one of the stronger ones in my opinion. I mean, I just think they have, honestly, if we're looking at it realistically and not, hey, this would be great. Like if I take Josh Allen and I put it over here, like I think it would have to be the Cardinals.
Wow, Mike.
I've seen them screwed out of playoffs in the past 2 years, and so I don't know if they'd make it to the Super Bowl, but I do believe once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen. We've seen it with the Giants, we've seen it with the Eagles. So I'm going with Miami Dolphins. I don't know. I just feel like they've done so much with so little in that position, and that's
number 5.
Oops, sorry. AT.
I want to pick the Dolphins so bad, but I mean, we have so many holes to fill, so I don't think we're one anything away. It's interesting. I looked at a lot of teams, and the one team that stood out to me was, I don't know how they make this happen, but I think it's the Saints. And it's just so funny that Kyler Murray is all of a sudden throwing a temper tantrum online, and they're not extending him. So chances are he might get moved. So I think if either Kyler or Deshaun goes to the Saints, I think that's a whole different ball game, because they have 2 things that a lot of teams in this position don't have. One, both their offensive and defensive lines are already good. And like they basically are the reasons why they made the playoffs already. So you just put a good quarterback, an elite quarterback behind that line, that situation with a good coaching staff, good culture. I think they already made the playoffs before. I think why not? They can definitely go to the Super Bowl, especially in a division that's missing Tom Brady now.
I'm ashamed, JT. Last season, who's the team that we all thought had a realistic chance in the AFC to knock off the Chiefs?
Who did you think?
It was the Browns. They are just a quarterback away. Like
no, they're a quarterback, they're a coach.
They're a team, a fan base.
Bro, how many offenses does Stefanski have to ruin before we're like, all right, cool, like him and Baker have to go?
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like Baker's gone, and Baker has to be the only quarterback I know that is just asks, please don't turn over the ball, hand off the ball, don't turn it over, and he cannot get that done. And here's a quarterback that's going to shock you all, because Jerm asked me to make this realistic, so I'm not going to go for some way out there trade. Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson are not going to go because they have no trade clauses. Smart guys. The quarterback that I thought the Indianapolis Colts last season should have traded for instead of the nonsense that they went and got is Matt Ryan. You put Matt Ryan on this squad, all you're asking him, Matt Ryan, please don't turn over the ball. This is a run-heavy offense. This is a Super Bowl ready roster right now.
Justin, you asking Matt Ryan, who Jerm hates, by the way. You're asking Matt Ryan to go from indoor Atlanta to outdoor Cleveland with 7 shitty weather games a year, and you're expecting him to not turn the ball over.
JT, all they ask in Cleveland, be sitting down and watch this. Hand the ball off to Nick Chubb, hand the ball off to Kareem Hunt, and on these naked bootlegs and rollouts, we're going to cut the field in half for you. So you only basically have 2 reads. 2 reads. Hand the football off, play action passes. It is easy not to turn over the ball in that offense. We've seen all the iterations of these offenses where quarterbacks have career years. That's asked Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur all about it. He's going to win 2 straight MVPs in the 3 seasons that Matt LaFleur is there. It's simple. Like any quarterback of note is not going to turn the ball over in Cleveland. So get Matt Ryan, offer Atlanta some second-round pick. They should bite. And, yeah, You're back in the playoffs again.
You have a lot of faith in Matt Ryan. Like, he hasn't shown me anything since Super Bowl. He hasn't shown me anything. Like, he's legit washed in my opinion.
Since,
so
the fourth quarter of that Super Bowl too.
But I'm saying, like, you're saying your plan is okay. Like, Baker's trash. Let's just replace him with the older version.
Hold on. As much as I'm not a Matt Ryan fan, we will never ever say that Matt Ryan is a turnover-prone quarterback. That is never the knock on him. And that's
he like at this stage of his career, like the past 2 years, I've seen him make mistakes on the field. I'm like, you've been in the league too long to be doing that. Like, he is not a good quarterback anymore.
I'm telling you,
can we get
him with Stefanski?
the Law and Order one?
Oh, who cares?
Marcus.
Well, you said be realistic, so I was gonna say if we can just lure Aaron Rodgers back to Green Bay, that'd solve all our problems. I guess that's not happening. I've kind of gone back and forth. I don't want to say the Saints. That was gonna be my answer because that was already said. So I'll kind of dig into the bank a little bit. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a Super Bowl ready roster. They have the talent on both sides of the ball to go to the Super Bowl. They just lack discipline all the way around. Like Chase Claypool and Juju Smith-Schuster would rather dance on TikTok than catch football. So there's that. And Minkah Fitzpatrick was essentially a fifth linebacker this season because they couldn't stop the run to save their lives. But I mean, if you get the disciplines together and you get Jimmy G in Pittsburgh, I don't see why the Pittsburgh Steelers can't be in the Super Bowl. I mean, I that's the most realistic option. In my perfect world, if Aaron Rodgers isn't a Packer, he's a Steeler. Because I love Mike Tomlin. I would love to see
that
Mike
would
Tomlin
fix
win another Super
that would
Bowl.
fix those receivers issues you were talking about in terms
And
of
that
maturity.
Yeah, it 100% fixed the receiver issues. I'm pretty sure it's just about done that the Broncos are getting Aaron Rodgers. So, like they're not going to get Russ unless Russ forces his way out because of his no trade clause. So I guess Jimmy G. Jimmy G is not terrible, right? We all know Jimmy G has major brain farts at the worst possible time in the biggest games possible. Outside of that, though, he's a capable quarterback that you could put on a talented roster, and he can take you places. So, yeah, I if not Aaron Rodgers, then Jimmy G on the Steelers, I think, gives them a legitimate shot to go back to the Super Bowl.
I went a couple different ways from here. I actually have a couple different combinations, but I went with the one that I thought would be most interesting. And this move would help other teams. You brought up Russell Wilson with a no trade clause. And I think there is absolutely one team he would lift that no trade clause up for. And there's one team that could trade for him. If you put dangerous Russell Wilson on the Dallas Cowboys, they could win the Super Bowl next year. Get rid of Dak Prescott. Russ is a clear upgrade from Dak. You put him indoors, and their defense was ridiculous last year. And if you put Russ, is a clear upgrade. I actually thought about putting Matt Ryan on the Patriots. If you put Matt Ryan on this Patriots team, the number 2 defense in the league, I think they could win the Super Bowl. If you put Aaron Rodgers on the Patriots, they'd win a Super Bowl. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but because I think Aaron Rodgers is I don't even believe in Denver. I think he's going to go to either a dome team or he's going to go out to the West Coast, 49ers specifically. I think there's going to be a 49er Jimmy Graps, Aaron Rodgers swap happening here pretty soon.
I can see
As
that.
long as Jordan Love isn't the starter come week 1.
The Packers are never going
It's
to trade
happening. Y'all get
someone in
ready.
the conference. It's going to be the AFC.
Yeah. So, I mean, you don't think they'll trade within the conference? They don't want to see even if it's out of division. You don't think
They're not going to trade, especially not to San Francisco, because as close as Kyle Shanahan and Matt LaFleur are, during the offseason in which San Francisco clearly and openly went after Aaron Rodgers, that broke the friendship between the two. They I don't think
and the Niners out, beat them, so it'd be weird.
They're not doing that.
But so I thought about it. I said, okay, I went with my heart, and I said, okay, who are the best defenses that could? The Patriots, the Cowboys. The Patriots are an easy one because, and honestly, you put Russell Wilson on the Patriots. I just don't think he would break his no trade clause to go there. But the Patriots had the second best defense this year, and the Dallas Cowboys had third. if you're looking at those rosters, which team would you rather go to? Would you rather go to the Patriots or would you rather go to the Cowboys? You want to go play in Texas. You want to go play in that stadium. You don't want to go out to New England and play in that cold weather. So that's why my vote went to the Cowboys. I just think they have a better roster. But I think if you put Russ on either one of those two teams, they could win the Super Bowl. Now, the Patriots didn't trust Mac Jones. I know that he showed a whole new personality during the Pro Bowl. He was out there hitting the gritty. I didn't even know he could do that. He looks like the assistant principal, but somehow he's out there hitting the gritty. And so that was like a pleasant surprise. Bill Belichick needs to let these guys have a little bit more character. And so, yeah, if you put Russ on the Cowboys, and again, the Saints would be a good one too, but the Cowboys are just better than the Saints are in terms of the rest of their roster. And I just led to what's more realistic. And I think Russ, I don't know what's up with the Pacific Northwest, man. Dame Lillard, Russell Wilson, they don't want to leave these awful situations that they're never going to win in. There must be something in that nice mountain water out there that keeps them staying. But the Damian Lillard needs to get out of Portland and Russ needs to get out of Seattle for everybody's sake. All right, Super Bowl coming up. I know many years ago, for WrestleMania, me and Mike, we had the fast food mountain. We ordered like
there too.
Bert. Yeah, you were there. Yeah, that's right.
God. Yeah.
We had a mountain of all the fast food. I mean, we had like 20 tacos, soft shells, 20 hard shells.
Everybody had to bring their own fast food.
Yeah, everybody brought 20 things of fast food.
Dude, there was McDonald's, there was White Castle. We had like Crave Case from Sliders. It sounds as though like exactly what it was, just a mountain of there's a good chance I'm gonna shit my pants by midnight. That's it. That's the best way to describe all of the food. Yeah,
that's the best way to celebrate WrestleMania, man.
It was great, and it reminded me. I was like, man, what? But after WrestleMania, we were just mixing food. I was putting tacos inside of Burger King burgers and stuffing them with nuggets and going crazy. So, but after the Super Bowl is a pretty big meal. Everybody, I feel like the Super Bowl game is more snack time, but usually you work up a hunger. You're drinking the energy of the Super Bowl, especially if it's an exciting game. Unless it was the what was that awful Broncos Seahawks game where it was like 45-3. I think I went to bed at like halfway through the fourth quarter. What is your guys' go-to post Super Bowl meal?
Man, I don't a Pepsi and a Gatorade, bro. I do so much snacking for the Super Bowl. I don't even want to think about food at the end of the night. And for me, it's all about the dips, by the way. Like if you've got an array of dips at the Super Bowl, I'm in it. Mike and I unfortunately got food poisoning from a buffalo chicken dip we ate like years and years ago. And you would think that would have scarred me from eating buffalo chicken dip. But no, it's like tequila for me. No matter how sick it gets me, I'll go back every goddamn year.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I can't even think about a full meal. But I will say, if I did have to like save myself for like a meal after the Super Bowl, I would want, honestly, I would just want a burger, like the nicest, juiciest burger you can think of with cheese on it and like a shit ton of toppings, and that's what I would go for.
Yeah, Bert, I'm glad you would save yourself, and it takes a real man to admit that.
It's my purity meal.
But the second the Super Bowl's over, I'm like,
after 7 times I've run on field, everyone sing a song about popcorn.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Song about popcorn is the start of the baseball season, baby. So the only thing I want after the Super Bowl's over is peanuts and Cracker Jacks, baby.
Oh my God. Hey, Cracker Jacks, they probably, I mean, how did Cracker Jacks escape the PC politically correct? Like they made Uncle Ben change his name. They made Aunt Jemima change their name. How did Cracker Jack get the skate? I mean, we need to talk about that. That's
white
crazy.
People suck. What are you serious right now? Like, who gives a shit what we call a white person? Like honestly, like,
and that's why we call them Black Excellence, folks. Mike Powers,
I'm going for the bun. I'm going for the bun.
There we go.
Rob Manfred is gonna speak to the public tomorrow, Thursday. That's tomorrow, yeah. And it better be about how the fact that baseball's coming back, and it's coming back soon. And if not,
he's gonna tell us. He's gonna tell us it's the players' fault. That he's gonna allude that it's the players' fault. and they're going to do what they can, and the negotiations are ongoing. So strap it on, Mike. 6 more weeks of winter.
Deflate this bat.
Oh my God. Hey, add some grip to the baseball if you're going to take away all the fucking the glue and the sap and everything that makes baseball fun. But put some texture on the baseball, you jerk. All right, JT, what's your post Super Bowl meal?
I'll tell you what, you guys in that top row are living absolutely dangerously. I mean, the fact that you're thinking about eating anything after what you guys just described as, that's crazy. But if I have to pick something, I'm a big wing guy. So if there's wings there, like I'm pregame, during the game, halftime, fourth quarter, I'm eating wings the entire time. So after the Super Bowl, I'm not eating anything like that, but I'm probably just going to grab some Skittles, get my Marshawn on, some sweet.
Skittles for the win.
Yeah, we
Justin.
go.
I don't know how old y'all guys are, but when you get to my age, there's no thing that's eating after 10 o'clock. So it's a good bottle of Pepto-Bismol for me, like wash everything down to be able to get to bed. Just give me that pink stuff.
That's self-care. That's self-care.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah.
No, trust me. We are all of age, except Marcus here, Dwayne Marcus. And trust me, I'm not supposed to be eating any of this stuff. And my wife yells at me all the time, but I can't help it. If it's on the counter, if it's out, I'm picking at it.
If I could, though, I'd probably, and I'm going to shout out to Domino's now, not exactly the best pizza, but my pizza of choice. So if you have some Domino's pizza laying around, I'd probably eat some of those and then regret it and quickly head to the bathroom with some Pepto-Bismol again.
Domino's. Dwayne Marcus.
I have all this Bud Light stuff real quick. I'm convinced that you're sponsored by Domino's and Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, we got to get you a sponsorship. We're gonna put the word in.
Sorry.
I just stick with the Hood Classic. It's never done me wrong. I don't think it'll ever do me wrong. That's a good old healthy serving of sleep, bro. It's
He threw us a curveball and gave us sleep.
Yeah, it's never done me wrong, man.
You're way too young to be sleeping after the Super
Whether
Bowl.
it was, well, I won't be sleeping. I'll be actually at work after the Super Bowl,
okay.
watching all the white people come in from their Super Bowl parties drunk and having to deal with that. So that'd be nice. So I'll be at work witnessing that. But if I wasn't at work, I'd be sleeping.
Gotcha.
It's never. There's nothing like a good sleep to just make all that hunger go away.
And what do you do
to be young
for a
again?
living?
I work concierge overnight.
Okay.
Yeah, by Nats Park, where all the
Nice.
bars and stuff are.
The amount of porn stars and OnlyFans people that probably walk through those doors that you are clearly noticing, or
it's
got to be amazing.
I definitely think I've witnessed the beginning and ends of some content being created. That's
Wow.
for
You
sure.
should do a live podcast from your lobby.
Shout out to the guest service. Hey, shout out to the guest service people, man. That's insane. Like it has to be obvious that that's what's happening, and it's like there's nothing you
100%
can do
is.
about it.
100%
Hey, swipe the card and just put in the earbuds and just forget it ever happened. For me, after all the gluttonous food that I eat, the dips, the wings, the pizza, the burgers, whatever's there, after I'm done cleaning up or halfway cleaning up, the one thing I do reach for seemingly every year after a big event that puts me right to sleep is a nice bowl of cereal. I enjoy a nice bowl of, and I'm not like a cereal snob. It don't matter. Raisin Bran Crunch, Reese's Puffs, Apple Jacks, whatever we got. I'm a big Honey Nut Cheerios guy. I'm actually a big apple cinnamon Cheerios. That's one of my favorites. If you haven't tried that,
No,
it's
you've
really
had
good.
me at
They still
Raisin
make
Bran
those?
Crunch. You've gone
Raisin Bran
south
Crunch,
on
man.
there.
I can
Yes,
never
I
get
love that.
behind Raisin Bran.
Listen, no, not regular Raisin Bran. I said Raisin Bran Crunch. It's a different thing. It's all,
Hear what
Can't
man
get
said,
behind it.
Raisin Bran
Can't get
Crunch.
behind it.
give it a day. Don't knock it until you try it, man. It's
I
Raisin
enjoy
Bran
like
Crunch is-
regular Cheerios with bananas.
See, yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that either. But yeah, nice bowl of cereal, whole milk, not 2% milk. We're not Nazis. Don't drink 2% milk. Just drink the whole thing. But yeah,
Thank God.
all
we're
right,
not
last
Nazis.
game, real quick, guys. New game. We're starting here. I like this move. We're gonna go around the NFL. I'm gonna read you a statement, and then you tell me if you like this move or not. Bert, I guess I'll do the statement, and then you just let me know, and then we'll move on to the next one. Bert, Jim Harbaugh spurning the Vikings and the NFL for the rest of his life to return to Michigan.
Love this move.
I like this move.
Mike, if you want to elaborate, then you can, but I'm that's whatever you want to do. But Mike, Jim Harbaugh going to Michigan, same thing for you.
I like this move.
Oh, you have the soundboard too. All right.
Gotcha.
Actually, no, I think I will do different ones. And if anybody wants to comment on the one I say, then you can do that too. So I'll move on. JT, Doug Peterson, Jags coach.
I like this move. He's got a Super
I
Bowl.
like this move.
Go ahead.
That's the best job in football that was available. That's why I want to go.
Dougie P.
Justin, go ahead. Give it to him.
I hate this move for Jacksonville. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Me
We
too.
sat down and watched this guy wreck one young quarterback and said, hey, you know what would be good? If we give him a second young quarterback to destroy.
I
Right.
think Carson Wentz wrecked Carson Wentz more than
Hurts. No, we're
Doug
talking about
Peterson wrecked
Hurts,
Carson Wentz.
man. He look.
Are you talking about Jalen Hurts?
Over
No, I'm
Jalen
talking about
Hurts.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, he
No,
screwed them
Carson
both
Yeah.
over.
The
Carson
moment
Wentz
Frank
hurt
Reich
Carson
left
Wentz
the
more than
building-
Doug Peterson hurt Carson Wentz, though.
No, the moment that Frank Reich left the building, Doug Peterson did not have a clue how to fix Carson Wentz. And now we're saying, you know what would be good?
Well,
If
Carson
we give
Wentz,
him a number one draft pick to mess up too. Oh.
Carson Wentz has enough raw talent where he shouldn't have declined that bad without.
I don't think
Frank
he
Reich.
declined. If you look at his Colts numbers, I mean, that defense was
Well,
awful.
not
in
decline,
Indianapolis.
but
And his
like, he
offensive
shouldn't have
line was
looked-
awful.
He shouldn't have looked that bad in Philly post Frank Reich with all the raw
I got
talent that he exhibited before.
He
while
did
Frank Reich
come back
was there.
from he came back from that injury too early too. I think he was trying to prove something to everybody.
That's true too. Yeah.
I work in
Justin.
Philly. Real quick, I work in Philly, and everybody during that Super Bowl run was asking, "Would you trade Carson Wentz never making it in Philadelphia for Nick Foles winning you a Super Bowl?" And they all said yes. So I feel like they sold the soul to the devil.
Philly
and
fans are the
cost
worst.
Carson Wentz
Philly-
a career, like personally.
I hate that I have to share the Sixers with Philly fans. Philadelphia fans are the worst. They wonder why nobody wants to come here. Justin, the Niners should run it back with Jimmy G.
The very worst, you should bring him back just to compete
I like
for the
this
starting
move.
job with Trey Lance. Because now you're asking a second-year quarterback to take a team with title aspirations back to the playoffs. Like, if Trey Lance is supposedly this good, let him beat Jimmy G in training camp to prove that he should be the starting quarterback. But to go in with Trey Lance as your starting quarterback, hell no, not with a team that is clearly ready to win. No, that's crazy.
Marcus, outside of Super Bowls, take him away. Andy Reid is a better coach than Bill Belichick.
You know what? He is.
I like
think-
this move.
I
Right
think
answer.
me personally, I think if you take away the Super Bowls, I think there are a handful of guys that we've seen, namely Andy Reid and Mike Tomlin, that I think are better coaches than Bill
Go ahead,
Belichick.
Bert. Jump in
Are
there, Bert.
you? If you take away the championships he coached teams to, yeah, no shit. There's other coaches that are better than that.
Did he coach them or did Tom Brady win them for him?
Oh, let's not
Because
start this.
without Tom Brady,
Who's still around?
yeah, I mean, who's still by choice?
We need a whole other show to debate the Tom
Yeah,
Bill.
We'll do that. We'll
Bill
do that. a
vibes.
different
So we're
day.
gonna ignore the elephant in the room and pretend like Bill Belichick doesn't spy on every ball on the sideline and gain a huge upper. Like we're gonna pretend that this doesn't happen, right?
I think
liberal media.
I think there's one guy in the NFL that's never had a losing season. And then there's a guy in Bill Belichick that has had losing seasons. And I think that says a lot more than what
Thank
people
you.
want to give it credit for. Like, we look at Mike Tomlin like he's some bozo head coach, and because he doesn't have a trophy case filled with, well, not us here, but, there's people out there that, think Mike Tomlin suck. And I said this on Justin's show Monday. It's like every other year, somebody's got Mike Tomlin on the hot seat because the Steelers have a down year or don't
Not even a
meet
down year. They wait like
expectations.
3 weeks into the season and they
yeah.
want him fired because he's black. Say what it is. I mean, it's
Let's
the
not
truth.
let's
Like,
not
no,
let's
I'm dead serious.
I think
Pittsburgh
Mike
is
Tomlin
probably
is
one of the most
1,000% better.
racist cities
Yeah.
I've ever been to. Thank God Mike Tomlin and the Tuck rule allowed him to get that job, and he's so fucking good at it that they can't fire him because they want to fire him. And
So
this
bad.
is Pittsburgh radio every single fucking time. So sorry, that's it.
So no, you're
No,
good.
you-
Black excellence, just standing up for everybody. Appreciate
Man,
you.
you got
I'm
Mike
dead
cursing on
serious
this thing.
about
You
that
know, when
shit.
you get Mike cursing,
I know, I
he's-
get Mike
he's
cursing.
about to
I
go
hate
off.
cursing. I hate
I
cursing.
love
They're
it.
like, oh,
I
you
love
can't
I
curse
love
on
bringing-
this network, and it's kind of true. But it's so aggravating for me to watch Pittsburgh and to listen to some of their radio hosts constantly put this guy in the hot seat because that's who's doing it, and it's strictly a black-white thing. I'm telling you, it is. There's
Of
no
course.
doubt in my mind. So
100%. While Mike was on his little soliloquy, I had some stats pulled up to justify Marcus's statement, and only to annoy Bert because this is one of my favorite things to do every week. Bill Belichick's record without Tom Brady, regular season 62-74, in the playoffs 1-1, total 63-75. Tom Brady's record without Bill Belichick 13-6, 4-0 in the playoffs, 17-6 overall. That's all I'm going to say. All I do is
Super Bowl.
And a Super Bowl without. Now, Bert, Mike, you guys know since day one, everybody knows I have a monopoly on the truth. All I can do, it's my responsibility to come out here on this platform and responsibly tell the truth. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to leave those facts out there. Bert, you're up next. Mike McDaniel, the weed guy in Miami, getting the Dolphins job, or the weed guy in San Francisco getting the Dolphins job.
I don't even want to touch this one because we all know what the.
I should have gave it to JT, but it's too easy. I'm going to get his reaction.
But
anyway.
I mean, kind of same thing too. I mean, look, JT is the fan. I'm an outlier, Giant fan, and I grew up in, my dad was a Dolphin fan. I have brothers that are Dolphin fans too, so I share a lot of the Miami fan base's pain year in and year out. If I had a number 2 team, they'd be my. If I had another go-to team, they'd certainly be that. It is what it is. Like we knew that the ownership was going to make a terrible decision the second they let Brian Flores go, and here we are. So do I like this move? No, I don't like this move. But at this point, Stephen Ross really couldn't do anything right aside from give away his millions upon billions of dollars, for other organizations. And even then, I'd still think he's a prick. So,
JT, real quick, just give us your overarching thoughts on Mike McDaniel being your new head coach.
I agree with everything Bert just said, but in a sick, twisted way, I actually like this move because
I like this move.
I said this on IG earlier this week, and I got killed for it. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna say it again. If he can't fix Tua, then that means Tua is gone. So it's a win-win for me. Like, look, I don't like our quarterback anyway. I think he is the root of all of our problems. And if he sucks under another coach, then he's gone. So anyway, we can get a superstar quarterback in here, I'm with it. But I agree. I just don't like the way we went about it. It was obviously a bullshit move.
Yeah, but what's going to be his grace period, right? Are we going to give him a season? Or is after the season, is the organization come out and say oh, well, we need to give him at least 2. Like, I mean, at this point, you should know by week 5 if Tua is it or not. And not. That is being.
I knew he wasn't it when we drafted him. Like,
generous.
I'm not a Tua fan. Like, I'm not on people. Like,
I think this is where the eye test is important. I think this is where the eye test is important because, again, I keep bringing it back to Josh Allen, but that's because it's my team and I paid more attention to him. In his first rookie season, it didn't go well statistically, but what you watched, you could see it. You know what I'm saying? Like there was flashes, there was things, and you could do that with a lot of quarterbacks. There was things that you could see. Joe Burrow, his first year, the Bengals weren't good, the games that he played, but you could see it in Joe Burrow. I don't think Tua has a game that you saw.
One. He had one. It was
one maybe.
It was against the Chiefs, and I don't know what the hell happened in that game. But other than that, no, I haven't seen shit. So
I will say
there's nothing about Tua. Basically, what I'm saying is there's nothing about Tua that you would say I have to keep seeing what's happening with this guy. Like you could move on from Tua. Go ahead, Justin. My bad.
One more thing, I'll let it go. One more thing, I'll let it go. We can sit here and say we don't see it, or whatever, and everybody's going to say like, okay, you guys don't know what you're talking about. But I tell you what, you go ask NFL players that see him all the time, whether they're playing on his team or against him, they don't think he has it either. And that's consistently been out there. So
the Dolphins traded up for him, so they're going to give him the longest leash possible. They have to, but it's
I'll say this.
Yeah.
And I don't like Tua either. If you're going to stick with Tua, I don't think you could have found a better hire, because the same offense that Tua shined in Alabama under Steve Sarkisian is the same offense that the 49ers are accustomed running, and now Mike McDaniel obviously, learn under that offense. So if Tua can't develop under this offense, then you know for certain that he's not the guy. So I like the hire because you'll know now if Tua is a guy.
The only thing I want to say about this, and this is kind of stealing some words from Germ here, but the hire I don't care about, because I don't bat my eyes at the Miami Dolphins because they just suck. But the fact that
he said, "Fuck you, JT."
Oh, don't worry. You are Aaron Rodgers traded away from being.
Whoa. Wait a second. You're absolutely right, but we're not there yet. We are not there yet. Let's not move this cart too fast. As Jeremy said on Monday on Justin's show, the fact that this Octoroon hire means that the Miami Dolphins get a compensatory pick under the Rooney Rule is the part about this move that I absolutely despise, and I think it's stupid. And
heady play by the Dolphins.
It's just, it just reeks of disgustingness.
Yeah,
it reeks of like that one white guy that's like, I'm not racist. I have black.
Nobody, be honest. Did you know that he was multiracial, whatever word he used? Nobody,
no,
because he never.
Which is why when you said that
it.
on the show, that was my reaction.
Yeah. Anyway,
but
Mike.
Hold on, JT.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm not going to take your shot. My franchise is not the embodiment of dysfunction that yours is. Let's not compare the two. And that's why the only issue with Mike, the new head coach, is that I believe in culture over everything. And the culture of your franchise downright stinks.
Oh yeah, I mean, you preach to the choir.
Until you get rid of Stephen Ross, your owner, and I suspect this lawsuit will, your culture of your organization is awful. My organization has a culture of winning, so let us not be comparing the two up.
You guys also have a quarterback too, so I mean, let's see what happens when you don't have one.
What do you say?
I didn't hear that.
I said you guys also have a culture of quarterbacks too, so let's see what happens when you don't have one.
There's a reason for that.
Luck.
Yeah, shout out to Cheyenne Woodley. Told she's spilling tea, talking about Aaron Rodgers is jealous and controlling, and now she broke off the wedding. So,
wow,
hey, Bert, it's your time, buddy. It's your time.
It is. Let's go.
She's free.
Got her.
That's fine. I'll get the permission slip from my wife, and then it's all over.
I mean, hey, tell her you're doing it for the family. She got money.
Got to get that bread. Let's go.
Bert, you need a man. All you need to do is grow the man bun, and you two could go to Hawaii and play the ukulele with Cheyenne Woodley. That's.
Can I ask you a question about that real quick? Mm-hmm. Would you, to have a shot at Cheyenne Woodley, would you have a dance off with Jackson Mahomes?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And I can't dance, but I would. You
gotta win. You gotta win. You think you would win?
Oh
yeah. Anybody 1,000% beat Jackson Mahomes.
I can train a cat to win against Jackson Mahomes. The dude, he's not good.
Yeah. I could literally have a grand mal seizure and beat Jackson Mahomes in a dance contest.
Wait a minute. Time out. Germ. Mm-hmm. I just got an epiphany because our boy Mike lost the bucket of doom, right?
I'm not dancing with a cat.
Oh yeah. No.
Yes.
It's going to be.
Mike, you don't get to choose.
I dance better? Do I TikTok better than Jackson Mahomes? And we're gonna have to ask complete strangers and do side by side his dance versus what you do in person.
Yeah, I need a couple months to get back in dancing.
Mike lost forever. Mike lost our annual bucket of doom. He had the worst record. We have to come up with a punishment for him. I think we were going to let him slide and eat the onion, but Bert came up with a better idea. Mike has this wild thought in his head that he gets to choose what his punishment is. No, that is not how it works, sir.
That's white privilege, baby.
It is white privilege. Yeah.
In all seriousness, I want to real quick before you go into that, I want to talk about the Pittsburgh thing. I watched all your shows. I was screaming at the phones when every time each and every one of you talked about the Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh scenario. So that was pent up aggression from that. Also, I just want to talk about Tua real quick. I watched my partner pretty much like his legs gave out underneath him when we drafted, when the Dolphins drafted Tua. He's a huge Dolphins fan. So I felt the need to express that from the divide that, yeah, we were not a fan of the drafting of Tua either.
We appreciate that.
Last three, and I'll give them to our guests. Okay. JT, neither the Rams or the Bengals will open up as AFC and NFC favorites next season.
I can see that happening.
I like this move.
I like that.
Yeah. I think the Chiefs are always going to be there, and I think the Bills and the Chiefs right now are favored. I don't know who's favored in the NFC. There's a lot of movement that could be happening, so that'll be.
I feel like
Aaron
it'd
Rodgers
be more likely for the.
Yeah.
If Rodgers stays, it's definitely them.
Justin, Odell Beckham Jr. will stay in Los Angeles because he prefers to be the number 2 to Cooper Kupp.
I like this move, but not because
I like this move.
The number 2. Like, who doesn't want to live in LA full time? Who doesn't? Great weather. You're there in a huge market. Odell Beckham has a lot of interest beyond the field. You know, he's great buddies with LeBron James. All the, well, no longer commercials, but the off-field stuff he has. Like, where are you going to go and get these same benefits? So you're not going to leave that. You have a winning situation, and you're in Hollywood. He stays.
People who don't like fires, mudslides, and enjoy eating meat would rather play somewhere else.
Yeah.
But
And
go on. And earthquakes.
Marcus, Rob Gronkowski plays for the Bengals next season for 1 year.
You know what? I love that move.
I like this move.
I don't think it'll happen, but I'd love to see Rob Gronkowski in a Bengals uniform next season. It'd be great.
He was
Rob
singing Joe
Gronkowski
Burrow's praises.
And Joe Burrow together, I think, is the most iconic duo ever. Like, and I'm not talking like football terms. I just mean like the icons that are Joe Burrow and Rob Gronkowski and together would just be.
That's the beauty.
Fantastic.
That's the beauty of it actually happening. There's no pressure on Rob Gronkowski to go there because Uzma's there. He could go there and chill, play half the games. And if like Gronk is the guy who does things because he thinks it's cool or it's fun. Everything is I think he would simply do it to play with Joe Burrow because he likes him. Yeah. There's no pressure on him to perform. He's going there to teach Uzma. He's going there to catch some balls in the red zone, and that's it. It's not like the Tampa Bay situation where he was actually called upon to produce when Cameron Brate went down, when Antonio Brown and all the receivers got hurt. Like, all of a sudden, Gronk was back in the New England Gronk. That wasn't what he signed up for. I think him playing with the Bengals, if his body is able, I think he would. He would either do that or retire, I think. So that'd be
until he realizes that there's nothing in Cincinnati to do other than go to. What is there to do in Cincinnati?
There's a lot of things to do in Cincinnati, Ohio, Justin. Right?
Well, there will be. There will be
on Cincinnati. Why are you being so mean to Cincinnati?
COVID, right?
That's true.
Cincinnati is basically gentrified Cleveland, right? Like, that's all it is. It's not really like Cleveland's all warehouses and Cincinnati's like warehouses that turn into breweries. One for everybody. I'm going to go around the room. Bert, this Thursday, tomorrow, Hall of Fame ballots go on. The voting for NFL Hall of Fame. The big name on there is Devin Hester. So I want everybody's opinion. We'll go around the room. Bert, starting with you. Devin Hester being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh. First ballot? No.
What's you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm putting him in because who the hell else is going to be on there? If there's not him.
I didn't even look. I don't even know. I don't know who the rest of the card is. JT.
So, like, if that's the highlight, yeah, I'd put him in.
Sure.
Hell yes. I'm a U guy. I'm from Miami.
I like this move.
He's the best. He's the best return player in NFL history. He got to be in there. First ballot. Lock it.
Justin.
He should be. He's not going to be, but as he said already, when you're the best at your position, you should be a first ballot Hall of Famer without a shadow of a doubt. And there was never anyone better at doing what Devin Hester did than Devin Hester.
Marcus?
He should 1000% be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I feel like it's Devin. Like, there are some guys that are just, transcendent at their position, and Devin Hester is that. It's like, yeah, and also, who else is on the ballot this year? I didn't
Actually,
even.
there's some names on
Who
this
else is on
ballot.
the ballot?
Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Rondé Barber, Tony Baselli, Leroy Butler, Devin Hester, Torrey Holt, Andre Johnson, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Reggie Wayne, Patrick Willis, and Bryant Young are all of the 15 finalists.
Some good names on there.
There's some great names on there. Yeah,
That's what I was telling you about this log jam at wide receiver.
Yeah,
these numbers are going to start skyrocketing, and it's going to be tough to decide which wide receivers that you're going to get in. And Reggie Wayne is finding out, and Torrey Holt is finding out just how hard it is.
Yeah, it's Devin Hester. I think because he is the greatest at that one specific thing is his only shot. I would think otherwise. No, his card is stacked. I don't know how many people get in typically that they let in, but it's like, I think it's 6 or 7, somewhere around there. I don't see him. Jared Allen's going in. Rondé Barber's going in. Torrey Holt's going in. Zach Thomas and Richard Seymour probably going in. So, I mean, he's really fighting with Reggie Wayne, Patrick Willis, Willie Anderson. I mean, he's fighting with those guys to get in on that first ballot. But I think because he had such a niche thing, he might have a shot. Mike, this one's for you real quick. Ben Affleck should play Bill Belichick in the biopic movie. I just watched that awful Sean Payton, Kevin James movie.
God. You watched it?
I did. I watched it at work.
I watched it too.
My store.
I watched it too.
Funny. I want to know. Did you notice the janitor at the end? Anybody?
Yes, was Sean Payton. I saw that.
Yeah, I thought that was.
We were at the firehouse. It was raining. There was nothing to do. We watched the Sean Payton movie, Bert. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
I watched it for comedic relief. It was great.
Yeah.
It was. It was like a Sandlot type funny Adam Sandler movie.
Funny is a loose term, is a relative loose term that might just use there. For
that song when they're singing to that house, I don't care what anybody says, was hilarious. I was like,
Mike,
they're gonna burn the neighborhood down, and they did. But go ahead.
The Gatorade.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell the guys what they have a chance of winning here.
All right. So first off, welcome to the Divide with Mike and Corey. No, but in all seriousness, we are nominated for an award. It's the Sports Comedy Award. So I'm gonna ask all of you to help me get some votes with that. But in return, what I want to do is give you so we do the bucket of doom. I'm going to give you the bucket of goods, right? It's going to have stuff from some of our sponsors like Bud Light. This looks like a beer. It's not a beer. It's what the fuck is this thing?
Dang, you practice it so well in the beginning.
Bluetooth pairing mode.
It's a Bluetooth speaker. So we'd put that in the bucket. We'd put some fast break coffee. Also, I want to talk to all you guys about being a caffeine dealer for Fast Break, and they obviously pay all commissions with your promo code, stuff like that. So you would get some network merch, some Bluetooth speakers, whatever I can. But all you got to do is pick which Gatorade is going to be poured on to the winners of the Super Bowl. So it's very simple for you to win. And like I said, we are nominated for award.
I heard about that nominated award.
That's my boy Todd Frazier. The reason why we got nominated for it was one, they noticed the episode we did with him. Then they nominated us for Sports Comedy Award because the kid's pretty much hysterical, but so is my co-host and not me.
You want to pick up the name you just dropped, Mike? Jeez.
What's that?
Said you want to pick up the name you just dropped?
No, I'll pick up another one later. Tune in on Sunday to see who's going to be with us. But anyway, so we're going to spin this wheel, and I'll tell you, whoever pick your color. I'm colorblind, so it's going to be very hard for me to tell who won. So that's the GOAT guy. Who's that?
Well, that's me. Look at me winning things on a wheel. I never win things.
So what color?
I don't know. Orange, I guess. I feel like that's the most generic Gatorade color. So yeah, I'm gonna say orange.
Right,
I don't know. Yeah, orange.
So we
I
got
agree
orange.
with orange. I'm not mad at orange.
Orange is leads the power
Mm.
rankings for Gatorade, right? Like the Gatorade flavors, orange is probably number
I
one.
think so.
All right, so this is one half of stuff about sports. We already talked about this earlier. Germ's going to go first because, we're trying to level out the privilege that Bert gets in his life.
I am going to go with yellow.
Oh, wait a minute. What
Yellow Gatorade.
Is there a yellow Gator? Lemon lime?
Yeah,
Isn't that
lemon
Yeah,
lime.
it's lemon
It's
lime,
yellow,
yeah.
yellow,
All right, all right.
greenish, whatever you want to call it. Yellow.
All right. According to FanDuel, also a sponsor of the Divide. Bert again?
Yeah, Bert.
Oh, I get to pick now?
Yes.
It's going to be blue.
Blue. Are we running out of colors, man?
No, there's a couple.
Jeez. Should have eliminated in hindsight. Jesus.
It's nice. The wheels finally are freeing me from my sins. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
For real. JT and the Don.
You guys took all the good colors. I guess is red still available?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's still
Red's the OG too. Like that's so we'll go to Justin.
I mean, do you have to spin the wheel? I mean, I'm the only one.
No, yeah.
No,
He just likes hitting the button.
So I'm gonna hit the racial joke here. I'm black, so I mean you gotta go purple, right? Like,
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna go with the other racial joke and go clear.
Oh, the white Gatorade. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
so I'm
white
gonna go
Gatorade.
clear.
Wow,
No, not
shit.
milk. That would be disgusting.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah, going from the lemon ice and or water. With FanDuel, if it's water, it's like everything's voided. It's pretty crazy. Or if they
Has
don't
it ever
show
been
it
water?
on a
Has it ever been
broadcast,
water?
they void all the votes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly like not in the era of actual gambling has there been one. Also, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I just have to say that as disclosure.
No. We should say it.
Also, drink responsibly. Thank you to Bud Light.
All right, Bert, do you have a game ball to give out?
I do. So I'm a hockey guy. Montreal Canadiens actually announced today that former NHL player, never been a coach before, but Marty St. Louis, Quebec native, actually got the head coaching job. So they were without a coach. They fired their coach. He got the job.
Nice.
He played for my New York Rangers for a while, but all around excellent hockey player, great guy too. Although I don't want to see success with the Montreal Canadiens, but happy that Marty has made his way back into hockey and behind a bench nonetheless. So game ball goes to him.
Sweet. Mike.
I'm gonna ruin her name. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna say shout outs to all the Olympians right now that are skiing next to a nuclear power plant in China. So their children will grow with 3 eyes.
On fake snow too, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's not even a real mountain. It's like a roller coaster. Like, I don't know, man. Listen, the Olympics take it's a whole nother animal, right? Like it's not for money. It's not, you're leaving your family for multiple years. You're training for this. It's every 4 years, right? So it's I don't understand it. But I appreciate it and I try to watch and support. But yeah, right now it looks like the episode of The Simpsons thing where Richard Burns is just like everybody will ski right outside of our nuclear power plant. So it's weird. Also, shout outs to whoever was like, hey, maybe we should put some projectors on top of one of these towers and just broadcast
show the game to all the people who aren't allowed to be in because it's like an oppressive country over there. JT, who gets the game ball?
Got to give my game ball to Lovie Smith. It's not what we wanted, but hey, look, I love that he got hired, and also I want to give a special shout out to his beard. Best beard I've ever seen in my life.
It's a lovely beard, man.
There's a lot of wisdom on that beard, that's for sure.
Kind of
Justin, you got one?
Sorry.
Yeah. Shout out to the NFL owners who continue to move the goalposts for Eric Bieniemy for whatever reason. So, they say that we don't have black coaches in the offensive pipeline, but we have Jim Caldwell and Eric Bieniemy and also Byron Leftwich. They can't get a job. However, defensive minds like Brandon Staley and Matt Eberflus can get a job with, young rising quarterbacks. Then they say, well, you know what? Eric Bieniemy doesn't call plays under Andy Reid. But guess who also didn't call plays under Andy Reid and gets jobs? That would be Matt Nagy and Doug Peterson. They didn't call plays under Andy Reid and they got jobs as well. And Doug Peterson has the second one. Then they moved the goalpost again and said that Eric Bieniemy does not interview well. Somehow the New Orleans Saints sat down and interviewed him for 8 hours. Still didn't give him the job. And the fourth and final reason, as they continue to move the goalposts for Eric Bieniemy, they said he has off-field issues, and damn, he really does. Guess who also had off-field issues? Urban Meyer. A long distance, and they also gave him a job. So please shout out to the NFL owners who find one way or the other to move the goalposts for Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Eric Bieniemy. There was a stat here. These are the teams that he interviewed just in the past 4 years: Bengals, Dolphins, Jaguars, Chargers, Broncos, Saints, Falcons, Lions, Jets, Texans, Browns, Giants, Panthers, Bucks, and Eagles. I believe all those teams have fired their coaches. Some of them 2 coaches in that time frame. Eric Bieniemy did not get a single shot at any of them. Josh McCown was cooking pancakes for the Christian Academy. Got a second interview. Eric Bieniemy only had 1 interview. I don't know. I don't know what to tell. Mike says his computer crashed. Shout out to Mike. Thank you for joining us. Get a better computer. Marcus, you got a game ball to give out.
Yeah, Brian Flores. It's not often a guy risks his livelihood for change. It's also not often a guy sues a multi-billion-dollar league to search for said change. I've been saying for the past couple weeks I hate talking about it, just because it sucks that it's a reality that we live in. But for Brian Flores to sue the NFL in an attempt to try to change the way that things are done so that people after him can get better opportunities at getting hired to be in a front office position or the head coach says a lot about his integrity and just his overall character as a person. So my game ball goes to Brian Flores.
Not the most popular guy out there, but I will give credit to where credit's due. Baseball umpire Joe West retires. He's umped like 5,500 games or something fucking ridiculous. I wish it was Angel Hernandez who walked away from the game, but Joe West, you umpire 5,000 games. I mean, I'm sure the number is closer to 55. Let me look. Yeah, 5,460 Major League Baseball games. Shout out to you, man. That's a lot of baseball that he's umpired. And then it would be sad when he goes. What's up, Jess?
One more, sorry. And also
you're good.
Shout out to the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, for giving the country with the worst human rights record ever 2 major games almost in succession. You give them a summer games just over 10 years ago, and now you give them a winter games. Good job. Yep. The Olympics stand for human unity, and we give the one country with the worst human rights record 2 major games. So love it.
Bert's Giants owner John Mara is on the diversity committee, and he's never hired a black head coach. So, I mean, there's a lot of that weirdness going around. Breaking news: Chloe Kim wins gold. So, first American to win gold in her event. So, special game ball goes out to her. And I would be remiss before we get out of here not to say rest in peace to baseball player Jeremy Giambi, who passed away today at the age of 47. Don't know the circumstances just yet. I didn't read the story, but I don't think there was a cause right now. But anybody losing their life at a such young age is sad, no matter what the cause is. We will not speculate here because it's somebody's life and somebody's family. We will just say our thoughts, prayers, condolences, whatever you give out. Our positive energy goes to the Giambi family.
Also, RIP to Gerald Williams too, who passed away. I think it was yesterday that Derek Jeter announced that he lost his friend too. I think he was only 55. So, yeah, not good. Not good when people, especially nowadays. I feel like 40, 50, even 60 is not old anymore. Like with advancements in medicine and health and people more health conscious, it's just like, in my job, I see 70, 80-year-olds that are like moving around and spry. It's insane. So to see somebody lose their life
in their 40s and 50s is kind of jarring, and it puts things in perspective. One more, Marcus, I'll give you the opportunity to plug yourself since you joined us a little bit later before we get out of here.
I'm sorry, I was watching Olympians from Wisconsin throw around. No, I'm so serious. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was scrolling, planning for this massive show I'm trying to put together on Friday. And this thing popped up on my Instagram thing where there's these 3 Olympians that are apparently from Wisconsin, and the Packers thought it was incumbent upon them to send them Packers jerseys and a football so they can have something to do, which is nice. It's beautiful. You can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok at GTP Marcus. I, as you can see, have a very large head, and I've convinced myself with this very large head that I can have the largest show possible on Friday for the Super Bowl, featuring up to 10 people. Bert will be there, Jerm will be there, Justin will be there, JT will be there, Steve A. Smith will be there, Chad Burn, the Chad Burn Show will be there, and a couple others. So it's a lot of people that's going to be there. But it's the Super Bowl, so it's worth it. That's what's going on.
Nice. So thank you guys for joining us. Does anybody have anything else before we get out of here?
Shout out to Shailene Woodley for ending the relationship with my quarterback, because she also spent a lot of time in Denver. So guess what? He may actually stay at home.
Yeah. Cheyenne Woodley standing up to Aaron Rodgers. Thank God. Ending the tyranny. My bad. Yeah, plug your stuff one more time. My bad. Go ahead. JT,
well,
you, Justin. Yeah.
I was gonna let JD go first. But again, hashtag this just in. Please put the hashtag first, because you will be taken to Matt Kellerman's poor show. But yes, hashtag this just in. We are on every Monday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. Marcus is always there. JT has been there. You have been there already. And this Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, I'm not sure what time, but we will do a huge pregame show probably in the morning. So look out for that on IG or on Facebook.
Awesome.
Sweet. JT.
Awesome. Yeah, once again, it's JT and the Don, All Sports Podcast. We're available everywhere you guys can find your normal podcast. Also, find us on social media, JTAND, the Don.
My man. Guys, this turned out way better than I expected. I appreciate you guys coming on with us. We got to do this again at some point post Super Bowl. We're all on each other's shows anyway, but thank you. I can't. Oh, look who decided to show up mad late. Crash computer. You missed it.
I'm gonna send you all the picture that was of my screen frozen. 2 of you guys had your eyes rolled back. It was hilarious.
Oh my Lord. But yeah, so for Bert, for me, for Mike, from the network, Marcus, Justin, JT, everybody, thank you. Enjoy the Super Bowl. You will find us on social media. If you're not looking if you can't find us, that means you're not really looking. Daryl Morey, you fat piece of shit. Trade Ben Simmons and hurry the fuck up.
But don't